How can you stretch 1 pound of ground beef and make a delicious, filling meal for a family of 4 or more? I'm Tess, and tonight I'm making a ground beef, mushroom, and rice skillet dinner, Italian style. Come join me in my kitchen. With the price of beef these days, it is important to have recipes that stretch that dollar. This Italian ground beef, mushroom, and rice skillet is easy and will feed that hungry family. Another great part of this recipe is that everything cooks in the skillet and on the stovetop. So let's get started. In my skillet on medium-high heat, I have 1 pound of 85/15 ground beef. Cooking and chopping until no longer pink and then removing from the pan. I don't have much fat from the beef, but if you are using a fattier blend, you may want to drain off the excess fat. In the same skillet on medium heat, I'm adding in a couple tablespoons of olive oil, about 3/4 of a cup of diced onion, and 1 8-ounce package of quartered button mushrooms. I also had 4 large bella mushrooms I needed to use, so in they go. Cooking and stirring for 5 to 7 minutes, or until the mushrooms release their moisture and is absorbed. Adding in a 1/2 cup of red bell pepper and 3 cloves of minced garlic. Cooking and stirring for a minute. This is really starting to smell good. I have 1½ cups of rinsed and drained long grain rice. Giving that a good stir and cooking for a minute or two to get everything mixed and the rice heated and toasted. This helps to keep the rice from clumping together. I'm adding in 2 cups of beef broth, and I'm using better than bouillon. Giving everything a good stir and turning up my heat to bring this to a simmer. This is 1 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes with the juice. Now I'm adding in the ground beef with all the juices and giving it a good stir. The ratio of water to rice is 2 to 1. I already have 2 cups of broth and a little juice from the tomatoes, so I need to add about a 1/2 cup to 3/4 of a cup of water. I'm adding 3/4 of a cup. And now for the seasonings. I have 1 teaspoon of Italian seasonings, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, and 1 teaspoon of basil. As you noticed, I'm not adding any salt because I know I have enough with the bouillon and the cheese that I will be adding. You can add the salt and black pepper to your taste. And now the good part, the cheese. I have a 1/2 cup of Romano cheese, and you can use Parmesan. And I also have a 1/2 cup of mozzarella cheese, giving that a good stir to combine. Once this comes up to a simmer, I'm turning my heat down to low, and that is the lowest setting on my stove. Covering with an airtight lid and cooking for 20 minutes. Make sure you set your timer and do not take off the lid. After 20 minutes, I'm turning off my heat and letting it rest for 15 minutes. Again, do not take the lid off. The rice will finish cooking and you don't want any of the heat to escape. After the 15 minutes of resting time, it's time to take a peek. You can see the rice is moist and fluffy and it smells so good. Topping with a little more Romano and mozzarella cheese. Placing on the lid until the cheese is melted. You could also stick this under the broiler to melt and brown. Garnishing with some parsley, and we are ready to eat. I love all the Italian flavors in this recipe, and as you can see, it will feed a hungry crowd. An easy 1-pan skillet dinner. I hope you give this Italian ground beef, mushroom, and rice skillet a try, and enjoy! If you like this video recipe, please hit the like and subscribe button. Remember to hit the bell next to the subscribe to make sure that you get my future video recipes. You can also find me on Facebook and at my website. Feel free to share this recipe and my channel with your friends and family. And until next time, much love!